Filler words are absolutely killing interviews for you guys nowadays. I'm seeing it more and more and more. So today I want to talk to you about how to eliminate filler words in your interview. But keep in mind, like what I'm going to share with you today isn't just for interviews, it can also be for presentations, for business meetings, just to be able to get you more accustomed and confident in your speaking patterns so that you can eliminate words like and like and right, always saying right or those things need to be eliminated. And I'm going to share 5 ways to help you to eliminate filler words, especially in your interview. But the reason, let's start by talking about why this is important. Keep in mind, guys, that when you have patterns, speaking patterns of using filler words, it just makes you look and sound unprepared. It makes you sound nervous. It makes you sound unsure of yourself and less confident, and certainly not articulate, which are all things that we want to master when we interview. We want to come across as confident and articulate. We don't, I just threw an in there. We don't want to come across as unsure of ourselves. So let me talk about 5 ways that you can help eliminate or at least reduce filler words in your interviews and in your presentations. The first thing is preparation. The reason preparation is so important is because it eliminates any uncertainty or doubt, and it makes you better enabled to have the information in front of you so that you don't have to pause. Knowing your resume inside and out, for example, understanding the job description inside and out, researching the company before you interview is going to make you so much better prepared that when you're asked about your resume, you're asked about the job description, they say to you, why are you interested in our company? You're going to have all the information ready to go. You will not need to hesitate and fill in gaps with or like or right or because you're going to have everything ready to go because you will have prepared. The second thing is, and this goes along with preparation, but it's different, is practice. You can't just go into an interview and expect to nail it unless you practice a little bit ahead of time. And what I mean by practice as part of preparation is maybe review a list of common interview questions, have answers ready so that when you're in there, it's just coming right out and you're confident because you've already practiced it. Know what key points you want to cover. Know your strengths. Know what you want to get across and why you're valuable to that person for that position that you're interviewing for. If you could do that, you're already putting yourself in a position to succeed because you already have an understanding of what it is that you want to say. So you're not going to have a reason to pause. The next thing, and this seems pretty obvious, but it's not. Number 3 is slow down. A lot of times what happens is when people are in an interview situation, they're going at someone else's pace or they're going at a pace that they think they need to like be really fast and really quick in the interview, I guess because they just feel pressured. That's kind of a misnomer. And I think it's one of those things that develops, it just kind of happens and you get into a cadence. So you have to convince yourself to slow down during the interview. You try to control the pace a little bit, but keep in mind, you don't want to put the other person to sleep. You don't want to slow down the cadence of your speech. You just want to slow down in filling gaps, filling silence with words. So slowing down helps you to think more clearly and be more composed. That's all it does. Number 4, and this is a really key point, it goes with number 3, and it means pause. When you can embrace a pause, it shows a professionalism and it shows that you have confidence in your ability. It also brings people to attention. Um, it may feel a little awkward at first if you have a little bit of a pause before you answer a question, let's just say, or a pause before you ask a question, or maybe it's even a pause in between thoughts. You have to be careful because you don't want this to be so dramatic that it looks like you forgot what you were saying. But sometimes a good pause prior to speaking or before a question shows that person that you're thoughtful and you're thinking things through. And that's the whole key. That's the whole point here is to show professionalism and also to make sure that you're not filling space. That pause, if you're trying to fill that space with words that you don't have prepared, you wind up going back to the filler words that you're most accustomed to. So that's why getting used to the pause can be really helpful, or at least embracing it and incorporating it into the interview process. The last thing, which is most important, and a lot of people, when I talk about this, they think that this should be number one, is to be mindful and self aware of your speech habits and patterns. Basically, before you even really get into the process, you have to know what it is that you have a problem with. What are the words that you struggle with? What do you need to correct? What do you need to focus on? What are your filler words? And one of the ways to do this is just pay attention. Pay attention to your speech patterns. Understand you don't have to necessarily record yourself. A lot of people say you should record yourself while you practice. You could certainly do that, especially in this day and age. You literally can turn your phone around and record yourself as you're practicing for an interview and be mindful of how many how many filler words you are using as you're preparing. That's a really good way to do it. But most people know where they fall short. Most people know what they need to fix. So number one, understand what it is that you struggle with. But the other thing is you just need to be mindful when it's game time. So when you're on the field playing the game, when you're in the interview and you're across from another person, think about these 5 steps. Understand that if you pay attention and are aware that this is a thing, you're going subconsciously, you're going to do better. You're going to put yourself in a state of awareness so that you can move yourself further away from falling back into the pattern because you're going to create a new pattern. So let's go back and think about what did we just talk about? Preparation, first and foremost. Practice, really, really important. Slow down, pause, and then really be mindful that this is something you want to be good at. Know what it is that you have an issue with, and be mindful that this is something that you want to do a really good job with. Convince yourself how important it is. And then the next time you interview, you're going to nail it. You're going to go into it and you're not going to have these issues. So I just wanted to spend some time helping you guys with this because it does make a difference between someone that comes off as super locked in, super polished, really professional, and worthy of the job versus somebody that is kind of nervous, unsure of themselves, and unprofessional, quite frankly. And you probably won't even know. Most people don't even know that they're doing this. So just by watching this video and taking this seriously, putting yourself under a little bit of an examination and practice these 5 things and put this into effect, I guarantee you're going to do better on your next interview, no doubt. If you thought this was helpful, please like this, comment, subscribe for more videos like this. I'm here to help you guys. I want to see you win. I want to see you be successful.